of the top 5 experts in Navajo psychology. Then what I did, once it was in there, I said, what was my question? Where did I put it?
I think it was something to the effect, how would these
Where did it go? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm starting a community on Navajo wellness. This is her question, this is her problem she wants to solve. Given these top experts, how would they start a community group? Okay, so we put one prompt in Perplexity and we put one prompt into ChatGPT. And now it's saying that's a powerful vision. If you're drawing inspiration from the leading Navajo psychology experts, you identified, here's how would likely approach starting a community. And now we have all of these ideas, and these are from top experts. This is not random people that are doing this. This is the top experts in the field, okay? Then, hi ladies, or men, gentlemen. How you doing? We haven't started the class yet. We're just I'm showing them a little trick here.
No worries, we went upstairs. We thought.
Oh, you did? Okay. So now it's showing us, here's some ideas from these top experts on a community. So think about a community maybe that you want to start in your industry. Same thing, same concept. Now it's giving us these 5 ideas, and then it's saying, would you like me to draft a step-by-step launch roadmap, like a 6-month starter plan? So now she's like, yeah, I don't even know where to start. And then I said, I like number 1. We only selected the first item. We didn't select all of these. We want to drill it down into a specialty, into a niche, okay? And then she could pick all of them if she wanted, but we're going to start with just a niche. And now what it did is it gave us a 6-month launch roadmap. Boom, just like that. Phase 1, phase 2, phase, and so on. So now what she can do with this information is she can start to plan her community. You can ask more questions in ChatGPT. You can ask it for content to create, like marketing. Like, how do I get the word out there? How do I promote it? What systems do I use? Do I use Zoom? How do I use it? I mean, there's really, the sky's the limit once you've got this foundation in here now. So that's a really great, just easy, get started using AI, use Perplexity, and then use ChatGPT. So I hope that helped someone here as well. If you're thinking about doing some research, Perplexity is a great research tool. And then ChatGPT is your LLM. So with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and get things started. What I did is I went ahead and created a little music video for everyone to get things started, and I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so that was created using Suno, which is an AI app. Is anyone familiar with Suno? Are you using it?
Yeah, I made songs for my grandkids.
Yeah, it's really amazing. So all I did was I went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, I'm having a workshop tomorrow and I want to create a little video of the event and welcome everyone and kind of talk about what we're going to go over. And I asked ChatGPT to write some lyrics for me. And all I did was I put the lyrics right in here, right here. And then I told it that I wanted it to be inspirational, like Imagine Dragons and Miley Cyrus, like a combination. And then I simply clicked create, and that's what it created. So it's really fun. It's just a fun way to get things started. One of those little AI hacks, I guess you would say. Like you could start off a webinar, if you're doing a webinar or a community event, kind of get people connected and excited about the event, that kind of thing. There's a number of ways you can use this. You can actually even put Canva in front of it, and you could take the audio from here, put it into Canva, if anyone's using Canva. I think probably a lot of people are. And you can put the audio in there, and then you can create an image in front of it of your event, like a little Instagram kind of thing or something like that. And then you can promote it that way as well. So if you're promoting a product or service. So those are just some little fun things you can do with AI. So I hope you enjoyed that. I love showing just like little fun things you can do just to kind of get things started with our event. So with that being said, welcome everyone to our Fundamentals in AI for Small Business Leaders. I just want to welcome you and thank you for coming. You're already on the right path. If you're not using AI yet, you're here. So just congratulate yourself that you are wanting to learn about AI and you want to embrace it. So I want to welcome everyone. This is specifically designed for business leaders, job retention and growth. It's a very important thing right now that's going on everywhere, is we're seeing a lot of people being laid off. So this is really for people that want job security, and they recognize that they really do need to learn AI so that they can be the preferred employee when they might see some layoffs happening in their company. And then the other thing is for job seekers. Right now we're seeing an influx of job applicants come in the HR industry. However, they're lacking that AI skill set. So if you have AI on your job resume, you're absolutely going to stand out. Just make sure you don't create your resume using AI, because that's a flag, that's a red flag. But understanding AI and how to use it and going in front of that job interview, you're in a much better place than not having it. It doesn't matter if you are an entry-level job seeker or you've been a marketing manager for 30 years, it doesn't matter. You really need to have the AI skill sets in your job resume. So that's my whole focus, is I try to really just bring it to you and help you so that you can understand it. We can help like demystify AI, I guess, when it comes to just really, how do I get started with it? So a little bit about me, before I jump into the training, is my name is Sherry Kappes, and I am a Chief AI Officer. I'm actually a fractional Chief AI Officer, and I help small businesses understand their strategy before they start using tools. I give them a roadmap. I give them, we break it down into pieces so that we identify some problems in their business that maybe AI can solve. I'm also part of SCORE, and I'm an AI educator through SCORE. and I have a couple other certifications. I'm a CAIMO. I'm also a certified AI consultant. I spent a lot of time learning AI and being in the right room with the right people to learn it and understand it. So I just bring it to you so that you can start to get moving on your journey. I have over 30 years of experience in consulting. I started my consulting background in e-learning. I was an e-learning strategist before, I don't want to show my age, but it was before e-learning was really well known. It was the same thing in e-learning now what we're seeing in AI, where it's about change management, it's about mindset, it's about a lot of resistance, you know, a lot of people are pushing back on it. We experienced the same thing in e-learning 30 years ago when e-learning was, you know, really new to everyone. So to me, it's been a very natural progression for me. I've also worked in several different industries. I've been in healthcare, I've been in manufacturing, I've been in construction, real estate. I've worked for clients in a bunch of different industries. And then really my goal is to really help you gain clarity. That's my goal of this whole training. And so with that being said, I would like to kind of show you a little bit of what our roadmap looks like today. You know, we don't necessarily stick with this specifically, but I try to stay on point. We're going to kind of do a little welcome live poll, get everyone's feedback, get everyone's, you know, how you're using AI. Then I'm going to talk about the MESA industry, the small businesses. I think that's very important that you kind of see an overall holistic picture of what's happening in AI in the MESA community, or even not just MESA, but you know, if you're in Gilbert or you're in Chandler or anything. I think this will give you a really good idea of what's happening in our marketplace. Then I'm going to go into some AI fundamentals and just some basic fundamentals. You know, what is AI? What is machine learning? Things like that. We'll take some time with that. And then I'm going to do some hands-on demos. Kind of like what I just showed you, like real live situations. I've got a case study I want to show you today. And then I'll talk a little bit about how it's really important that, you know, I mean, the Suno thing is really fun. It's an AI tool hack, but really, you know, that's the fun part. But really, it's about having a strategy. So it's about having your strategy in place first before you dive into tools, because there's a lot of tools out there. And so, and then we'll open up for Q&A if we have time. So that's it. So I'd like to welcome everyone, and if we could, Ron, would you mind taking the mic around the room?
Sure.
And we'll just kind of go around the room and just introduce yourself, like what company you represent, how you're using AI, and maybe what you'd like to get out of today's event. And Ron, you can even start introducing yourself. Introducing yourself.
Yeah. Well, my name is Ron Pollock, and I'm with eXp Realty, and I've been in real estate for 20 years now, and with eXp, I've been with eXp since 2017, and but also with that, because eXp is international. They're nationwide, and they're all Canada, Mexico, and they're in 27 countries. We expanded on that, and we joined a global network to give us the rest of the world, to be able to help people real estate no matter what country they're in. So that part really, I really enjoy that part of it, and a lot of people are looking out of this country, and so it's a perfect fit. So
And you're
if you know
AI
anybody, you know,
And you're AI certified.
and I'm AI certified, yes. And with AI, I use it into our real estate platform, and like listing presentations, buyer presentations, all this different things like this. And it's just amazing how it works. And but anyhow, someday, if anybody wants to learn more about it, I'd love to have coffee and, you know, kind of go over a lot of things, what you do and what I do, and, you know, you can learn more about it. Okay, so.
Hello, my name is Sarah Witherspoon. I'm from the Navajo Reservation up north near the Four Corners area. And I recently came to the idea that I wanted to start my own peer support company. Just kind of coming from a lived experience as well as having a strong background that I needed to give back to my people. And so I just came to this event to kind of figure out what to ask AI because I know that it's the future. So it's what I keep hearing from, you know, people like in the places I work, but yeah, I just wanted to know what kind of questions I could ask, and we pretty much like went through like exactly what I needed to kind of figure out before the even class even started. So it's awesome.
That's what happens if you come a little early.
I'm Marlena, and I am representing Urban Rock Info. I started this company in my master's program recently at the University of Michigan. I just graduated in May, so I moved back here to kind of get reacclimated into the entrepreneurship and innovation sector. But I am using currently a lot of AI tools, and I use ChatGPT religiously. So it is, and I use the Plus version. So I'm just trying to figure out how to hone in, on all of these different skills that I'm learning from the tools, and also from the different knowledge that I'm getting, just make it into a perfect business plan to ship out.
Great. So what was your degree in?
It's in UX research and design.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Larissa Slack, and I represent ASU, or specifically ETSIM E&I. So my job, I'm the program manager of resource development, so I create learning resources and learning modules that are publicly available and posted on our website. So if you're interested in checking out what is it that we have free of charge for anybody in the world with knowledge of English and access to the internet, please see me. I have a huge stack of business cards. I will gladly help you find whatever resources we create. As a content creator, as an instructional design, ChatGPT is my best collaborator. So my friend is my collaborator. My favorite command is fuse and summarize. So I also work with Canva a lot, and I love their AI feature. So that's me. Come see me if you want to learn more about free resources that I'll be providing for anybody. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a great resource. Yeah, definitely take advantage of it.
Hi, my name is Sharon Cassidy. I'm an interior designer, and so I thought I would come here and see how I can integrate AI into my business. I'm currently using it for mood boards, so what would take me like a couple of days to create like a mood board with furniture and accessories, I can do in a couple hours with ChatGPT, which is really fun, and I can switch out. It doesn't always listen to me though. I like move the coffee table over to the couch, and it will it's like intentionally moves it to the opposite side, and it makes me very agitated. But yeah, it's been really great to be able to see like my vision come to life so quickly instead of having to manually do it in some of the other programs that I know how to use. So, but yeah, I came here so I can learn some more tricks and tips from all of you guys. So I guess I'm definitely interested in your resources. So
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Lennox Mashinaize. Our company is called Tanapo Homes, and we specialize in senior living, and we mainly do mobile homes, and we are looking to use AI, for advertising and everything else. But I'll leave my spokesperson here to give you the rest.
Hi, guys. I'm Nicole Mashiente. And as you can tell, I didn't say it as beautifully as he did because I was born in Kentucky. He was born in Zimbabwe. So, but yeah, I am like on fire, super excited about AI and what it has done for us. This is not our first business. And just to go back and remember the things and how things were as we're building a business. We built businesses, we bought them, we sold them, and you know that you have to go on your grind and have a lot of grit to get that stuff done. And what ChatGPT and Canva and Perplexity and all these things have done for us has been amazing. Because right now, we're at the point of our business, this guy got really sick, so we just restarted, we just relaunched a few months ago. So we really weren't in our budget where we could afford to bring on full staff and all that. But we found we have staff. I mean, Ava, we have our AI agent Ava. And, you know, some other resources. So we're just glad to actually be here and to be a part of other people who are looking at it in a very forward way, because for us, it's been life changing. I mean, we'll never build a business the same ever again. And I'm just glad to be here, so thank you.
So what was your business again?
We are housing and lifestyle advocates.
Okay.
So basically, we work with first-time home buyers and people in the 55+ community. A lot of what we do, because we have our mobile home dealer's license, is we do a lot of manufactured home. There's still places out there that are getting more beautiful where people can put things on land. But also we're advocates for a lot of the seniors inside the neighborhoods who are getting priced out of their situation there. So we develop alternatives. We even stepping into the 3D model. 3D homes, printed homes are now very affordable. So and then there's some tiny home living situations. So we're about finding an alternative situation. We just had a young couple that we helped them move a home out of a park on the reservation on their land. And it probably saved them about $150,000. They were able to do it cash with their own money. So that's kind of what we do. We just find solutions for people so they can live the life that they deserve to live. And everybody deserves to live.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you. I'll stand up so I can see everyone. Good morning, my name is Jennifer Heim. I'm an entrepreneur. I own 2 salon suite businesses. We have one here in Mesa. We took over that location a year ago at 25 suites, and then we have a larger location we built out in Chandler. It's got 42 suites, so I have over 80 tenants. I get a lot of text messages. But what we do is we specialize in helping people become entrepreneurs if they're not. So maybe they're a cosmetologist or a barber or a tattoo artist and they work for someone else. So we help them to make that transition. So it's very rewarding. Being a small business owner, there's not enough time in the day. So I am looking for any tools I can use to help streamline operations. I've been dabbling around with ChatGPT and using it for some communications, but I'd like to see if there's things I could automate, things I could do better. I'm also interested in using it, a bit in my personal life. For instance, I follow a macro diet, and I was wondering if it could spit me out a nice daily meal plan or week plan based on my macros. So, yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to
Great,
this
thank
session.
you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Looks like we took too long and I lost my Wi-Fi connection. Here, Ron. Let's see if we can get that back up. Wonderful, those are some great, we have such a variety here of different folks, so that's very exciting. Let me see if I can get this going again here. Sometimes the Wi-Fi gives us it's a little sluggish here. Here we go, okay. So now what I want to do is just touch a little bit on really what's happening, not just locally, but also nationally, worldwide, what we're seeing in, the job market, what we're seeing AI replace in job performance. So while this loads, gosh, what's going on here? Probably should not have let it sit for a while there. What's going on here? Let's try that again. Sorry, guys. Okay, it came up. Okay, so here's what we're seeing in, there's many statistics out there of what's happening with AI in the workplace. This just gives you a kind of like a bird's eye level of what we're seeing the most vulnerable jobs are that are going to be replaced by AI. We're seeing it in reading skills, writing skills, translators, people that run statistics. Those are some of the things that AI we're seeing is actually replacing jobs. And then also in marketing and media, social media, marketers' content, to me that's the lowest hanging fruit in AI. Everyone is playing around with InVideo, and they're playing around with Suno, they're playing around with even Canva. Canva has a magic feature, you know, so I mean there's so many things that the average person can now do that maybe they hired a marketing person to do for them in the past. So my recommendation is if you're in marketing, if that's your skill set, you want to be leveraging AI even when you're working with clients. You need to show that you're forward thinking when it comes to your content creation. And there's so many things you can do with social media. And that's, to me, the lowest hanging fruit in AI. And that's really what we've seen the most, the biggest industry that's really kind of taken hold of it, and they've really kind of run with it. But then we do see some that are more old school, that are kind of resistant to AI, and you know, they're gonna find themselves in a pickle if they don't get going with it. And we're already seeing that. I mentioned job resumes. If a marketing manager, maybe they got laid off from their job and they've been in marketing for 30 years, they really need to have AI on their resume. And we're seeing that some of these, they don't have it, so they really need to get upskilled. Basic programming, we're seeing layoffs in junior software developers. We're seeing kids just coming out of college where they can't get jobs because AI is replacing them. So that's an example of basic programming skills where AI is really taking hold. Financial management, accountants, payroll clerks, financial analysts, and then detail-oriented work, data entry. These are all like redundant tasks that AI can definitely do and replace a person. But they don't replace a person 100%. So it's about having that human in the loop. So if you come into let's say you're a translator, for example, you know, maybe AI can translate information, but you really need to have a human on the back end to review it. And so that's where the skill set comes in. That's where the human comes into the play. So those are some things that we're seeing. You know, we're also seeing where, I mean, there's so many stories about how CEOs are really expanding their AI initiative. In fact, there was a report that came out recently from the CEO of Shopify, the marketplace. Has everyone heard of Shopify? So Shopify, the CEO, he made an announcement to his company, and he said, you are no longer allowed to hire a person until you can prove to me AI cannot do the job. So they have to prove that person should be hired. So if AI can do it, then they can't hire a person. So those are the things that we're seeing. We're hearing stories about that every day now from different companies where they're really embracing AI. So now let's talk a little bit about Mesa. The Mesa Small Business, you know, there's 650,000 small firms in the Mesa area. And it's interesting because there's also 6,750 openings in the last 12 months, job openings. And then we're also seeing, this shows you that there's growth. There's growth in the community. We're seeing Phoenix area owners, they're reporting a 73% year-to-year growth. So there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of opportunity, and it's the small business leaders that understand AI that are, like you mentioned your business, you know, you're really embracing AI because, you know, you're small and you don't have the bandwidth to, or the budget, quite frankly, you know, you don't have the budget to add an admin and a marketing, you know, person and a sales rep and all these people that you really do need in your organization. So it's the small business leaders that understand AI and how to leverage it is really they're the ones that are coming ahead. So here's some of the top local sectors that we're seeing in the local businesses. We're seeing healthcare for AI is on the rise. We're seeing manufacturing, aerospace, retail services, and then the biggest headaches that these local sectors have is marketing reach, and it's staffing challenges, and it's admin overload, just like what we talked about. It's like, how do I do this? How do I navigate through this? So those are some of the challenges that actually, you know, AI can definitely assist you with in your business.
What was the 73% growth again in what now?
That is the business growth, the overall business growth in Mesa, Phoenix area. This is so slow, this Wi-Fi. Okay, common worries that business leaders have when they're using AI, or even a person that works for a company is a business leader, they have quality control concerns. So if you have employees that are using AI and they're all kind of operating in their own little silos, we call that shadow users, shadow AI. So if you have employees, you really do want to have a meeting with them and understand where they're using AI, if they're using it, and you need to come to some common understandings of how they're using it within your company. Because it really does, when people are starting to use AI and they're off in their own little world and you're not aware of it as a business leader, you know, it could damage your brand. It could, you know, affect your, you know, you could set yourself up for some litigation, to be quite honest. You know, you have to know when your employees are using AI. And I always say, if you have employees that are using AI, get a ChatGPT team account. And then that way everything runs under your team account, okay? So let them do their own thing, personal, but when it comes to your company and they're using AI, you want a team account, because now you can manage it, you can control it, you can turn it off, you can turn it on, and you can manage what's going into that team account. So if you have a brand voice and you've got it set up in your team account, now everyone's on the same page. They're all using that team account. So your brand voice is consistent throughout the organization. Even if it's a husband and wife team, you might want to consider having one account, a team account. And that way, everything is in there. Nothing goes outside of those guardrails. It's very important once you start to use it and once you start to grow your organization. Now, employees, they're concerned about job loss. So you do have employees that are using AI that are not communicating it with their boss. So that's why I say it comes from the top down. It comes from leadership, and leadership needs to be the one that's really has identified some AI champions. Maybe they don't have time to manage it, but they identify an AI champion. So that way you have someone that is managing the process, okay? Super important. And that goes more into compliance and guardrails and setting up standard operating procedures. There's a lot involved in that before you even start using AI. I think it's super important when I'm talking with business leaders that I don't want them to just start playing with tools, because really AI is a technology and it's a very powerful tool. It's not a toy. So that's why I really like to cover that in my speeches, because I think it's a miss. It's a miss in a lot of businesses where they're using AI, but they're just kind of playing with it. I hear that all the time. So it's super, super important. So let's just take a quick poll. If you just want to volunteer, what AI-powered task do you feel you would like to tackle first in your business? Maybe anyone want to volunteer what they'd like to tackle first?
I like to get proficient in building out the agents.
AI agents?
Yeah, just more agents and having everything section off and just a little clearer, so that we're building in the systems for what we have, and really being able to have them do what we really need them to do. I'm still, we're a little older, so it's
Yeah.
we're still working on trying to make that happen.
Okay. Are you using custom GPTs yet?
I just created my first one, because what's brilliant is ask ChatGPT, I'm having trouble, so like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you need to build your own GPTs.
Yeah. And that is, and it all starts with your brand voice. So once you have your your brand set up in your chat, you're training your ChatGPT. Okay, now it's getting to know you. It's getting to understand how you like to communicate, what your branding is, what your messaging is, what your mission statement is, all those things. And then once you have that set up in your ChatGPT, now you can start to build agents from it. But make sure you've got that foundation set up first.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the, you said brand mission statement? What
I'm sorry.
foundation is? Oh, can you just repeat what the foundation is that ChatGPT needs to know in order to create?
Can I repeat what?
Like your mission and your branding, like
Oh,
what do you need to
yeah,
do?
I mean, the branding is about your company. Like, what is your, what is your brand? Who's your customer? Who's your ideal customer? What's your, even it comes down to, your images and your colors and all those things.
Yeah, I have like the same question. So, how I use ChatGPT. I don't know if I need the plus, and then I use it for personal, and then I use it for my business. And does it just know me based on the history, or do I have to give it our ideal client profile? I'll study these
Yeah, I
websites,
mean,
all that kind of stuff. And I have no idea what you're talking about with having an agent.
Yeah.
So what, I think I'm missing something about
No,
an
you
agent.
can create agents, well, she'll teach you.
Are you gonna put-
yeah, I mean, AI agents is a little advanced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just to give you a idea of AI agents is actually, it's automation. A lot of it is automation, so I don't know if you're that far in your journey with AI, but it's about setting up different agents that can address certain areas of the business. So if you've got an agent for marketing, an AI agent for marketing, and then when you, for example, a chatbot. You know what a chatbot is? Like if you go into T-Mobile website and they have that little guy in the right-hand corner, and it pops up and it says, "Hi there, how can I help you?" That would be considered a light load type of AI agent. It's a chatbot. So now it's been trained in servicing that client. Let's say they ask a question about T-Mobile, their different telephone plans, or they ask about, what's your policy, your late, whatever it is. When you train that AI agent in that particular area, you've got what's called a knowledge base behind the chat bubble, okay? And so whenever someone goes in there, then those things are gonna be automated for you. So for them, it might be they're servicing 55 plus first-time buyers or something like that. They might set something up on their website, and it could be a little chat bot. And they set up their knowledge base of whatever their information is, and then someone goes in there. See, they don't have to be taking all these calls because now they've got this automation helping them, and they move them through the process. The AI agent will move them through the process through automation. So it could be a little chat bot, and then the chat bot, asks them some questions, and then it might lead them down a path where it says, they need to talk to a human. And then it's gonna take them to maybe calling them. However you have your automation set up. That would be just an example of an AI agent. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a person doing a role, this agent.
Yeah.
Kind of like a lawyer or an accountant or.
Yeah, and I mean the
a
easiest,
marketing
yeah, and I mean
person.
the easiest thing would be your website. That's the easiest way to get started with an AI agent is take a look at your website and set up a chat bot for your website. If you're taking all those calls all the time, like for your salon, you've got all these calls coming in and you can't manage the calls, you can lead them down a path, however you set up your roadmap of fielding those calls. And then once they've been filtered, all these questions have been asked, oftentimes they don't need to talk to a human, but sometimes they do. Like if it's a sale, you probably want to get on the phone with these people, if it's a real sale. But if it's just asking for hours of operation or something like that, that's something that your chatbot can handle. So that's just an example of an AI agent.
I didn't know we're complicated.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
But
it's
there's,
just that would just cost us so much money to have someone do before.
Yeah.
Now we can literally just do it with ChatGPT.
right, yeah. Does anyone else want to volunteer, like how they see using, what's your one thing you'd like to tackle? One problem? I think we helped you, Sarah, with yours. Does anyone else have an idea?
Yes, I can go with the videos. So I had someone doing our social media organic, not the paid, but the organic posts, Instagram, TikTok. And it was very expensive, and I didn't love exactly what they were doing with the branding and this and that. And so I'm like, okay, my daughter can do this. She's 18. She's a whiz at making videos and stuff. So I said, I'll give you the content, but I'm not exactly sure what the going market rate is to pay her, how many posts she should have, like how to instruct her when
Okay.
I'm not an expert. So could I get chat to
Yes.
provide a very detailed job description, and then also, when to post, frequency, amount of pay, how she could keep up on coming, trends in the
100%.
industry, and then, how we can use AI to make it even faster and, just easier and less time consuming.
Okay.
I think that plays right into what you were talking about on the slide with social media as low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
That's my specific need.
Yes, you can definitely use ChatGPT to help you with your social media strategy. And it's a matter of putting in the right questions into ChatGPT. I mean, that's really the bottom line. It's the prompting is really key on how you communicate with your chat. So a lot of times what we see, I mean, more times than not, people are communicating with their ChatGPT just like they communicate with Google when they're doing a Google search, and that's really not the right way to use ChatGPT. That's not an effective way to get what you want from it. So it's really, it takes some practice, but we're all, at the age, I think, where we have a lot of knowledge in our head, and now all we need to do is put that into ChatGPT. So we actually have an advantage because most of us have been in the workplace So now we take that knowledge that we have, put it into ChatGPT because we're training our chat. So if you don't give it good information, it's not going to give you good information. That's just really how it goes. So it's really learning how to use ChatGPT and prompting properly. And you can definitely create a social media calendar with ChatGPT. And what I would recommend, the way you get started, is start to think of ChatGPT as your thought partner. Think of it as your thought partner. It's your strategic thought partner. It's not, something where you want to get a recipe for chicken salad or something. Think of it as more of a, a business thought partner, and start to have deep conversations with ChatGPT and use the knowledge that you already have. And the nice thing about ChatGPT is there's also a mic feature. So if you can't type that fast, you can just talk into the mic and you can tell ChatGPT, here's what I want to accomplish, and give it everything, and then just let it run, and then start to build on that with what you're looking for. Yes.
Can I give an example of what you were just saying? So I'm writing a lot of content, and I'm writing resources and learning modules for undergraduate students, for faculty, for community members, right? And every time I write, I have these conversations. Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. So summarize this paragraph, and it gives me a summary. And then I continue the conversation. Now, make this, adjust this text to undergraduate student population, to faculty population, and it already knows what I'm going to ask, and it asks me now, every time it spits out a fusion of the text that I asked for, or a summary, it's already asking me, do you want this for faculty? Do you want this for undergrad students? Do you want this for first year students? I love it, that it's already kind of predicting my questions, so that's a great feature.
Yes, that's exactly what it's doing. It's a predictive model. It doesn't learn from nothing. It's predictive. So it's all of the it's not just you, but it's all of the users, all of the millions of users that are using ChatGPT, and everyone's training it. Everyone's training it that's using ChatGPT. So now it's not only taking your knowledge and what you're looking for, but it's also aggregating all of the other information that it's gathered over the years. So it's not just a one-way conversation. Now, if you turn the memory off and turn the memory on, that's a different scenario. So if you turn the memory on, that means you don't want it to pull any memory, and you also don't want to share it. So those are a couple of things to think about when you're using ChatGPT. Let's say you have something kind of private that you really don't want, maybe you don't want the world to know about, or even though we have the paid version and it does have certain guardrails on it, you just have to assume that what you put in there, it's called OpenAI for a reason. So, if you turn the memory off and on, play with that, because it's not going to remember a previous conversation you had if you have the memory on. Okay? Yes.
I think there might now be just a privacy setting instead of the memory setting from what I could be completely wrong, but I did just turn off the privacy, and it's continuing to pull from memory from past chats.
Okay. Yeah. Did you try turning in the right-hand corner? There's like a little memory button that you can turn on and off.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's up in the right. I'll show you that.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows what generative AI is. I want to kind of move along here. We talked a little bit about guardrails. We talked about data privacy, brand voice, for a consistent message. I recommend you have an AI usage policy if you have someone in your organization that's using AI other than yourself. And it doesn't hurt to build one if you have that vision for your company where you're going to be bringing people into the company, it doesn't hurt to have that AI policy usage in place. Build that before you bring people in, because you kind of know what you're looking for and how you want to set that up. Yes.
Do we have to disclose that we're using AI? Is that a part of that policy? Is that to our?
Well, it's
customers,
gonna,
audience?
yeah, I mean, it's really going to depend on the application. You know, so it really does, I see some people that, I mean, to me is obviously AI, because I have a trained eye in it. And, you know, like when they're using InVideo for content and, you know, some of these tools. But it really depends on how you want your company to run, that you can say, okay, for X, you always disclose that, you know, AI was involved in this, you know, but it doesn't necessarily have to be for everything. You know, I would just maybe even ask ChatGPT, here's our business model, what areas do you recommend we disclose that we're using AI? You know, so that might be a good way to kind of handle it, because you know your business better than anyone. Yeah. But here's just some, we mentioned a few different LLMs. Perplexity, I love Perplexity. I showed an example of that earlier today. Claude is a great tool for writing. And then there's a couple other ones. And then there's all these different, and there's so many more LLMs. There's tons of LLMs out there. But my go-to is ChatGPT and Claude. I'd like to stick with the tried and tested tool because there are so many different LLMs out there. So to me, it's just the tried and tested one. And it's always been my go-to. And we talked a little bit about settings, the different tiers for ChatGPT. We've got the free version, we've got the plus version, which is only $20 a month. We talked a little bit about the Teams version, where if you want to keep control of your staff, make sure you're using the team version. And then that way, if that staff member leaves your company, you simply turn them off. But if you're using the regular version, then they can take that information with them. So it's a way to protect your content. So custom settings, we talked a little bit about that, you know, setting up your custom settings. And then plugins, there's plenty of plugins that you could use. I don't know if anyone's played with the plugins at all. There's all kinds of plugins if you're looking for, you know, writing, or you're looking for social media. There's a Canva plugin in ChatGPT. It'll create images for you right through Canva. There's many things, there's thousands and thousands of custom GPTs in there. I personally, I like to create my own custom GPTs because I own them, and that way I can control them. So if someone creates a custom GPT and I'm using it and then they turn it off, then I have no control over that. So I'd rather be in control. We talked a little bit about this, the workflow sandwich. It's your input into your ChatGPT, it processes that, and then it comes out with an output. You want to review it, you want to polish it, you want to check for quality. You never want to take the first version. You know, I even recommend, you know, take that content, put it in a Word doc, and now make it your own. Because in a lot of ways, I know that ChatGPT has come a long ways, but you can still tell, especially if someone hasn't trained their chat, you can tell it's from AI. You can just tell. When you see social media posts, you know, you've got all the little emojis and you've got the little hyphen. It's like, come on, at least take it out of there and recreate it, you know, put your own flavor in there. So here's, I want to make sure I can get to our demo, so that's why I'm kind of rushing through this a little bit. AI for presentations, I love Gamma. I'm using Gamma right now. I love Gamma. I'm going to show you how that works. It's really, really slick. It's like PowerPoint, but it's AI. And a couple other tools I mentioned earlier, Ideogram is for image creation. You just take your prompt and you put it into Ideogram and creates an image for you. And if you don't know what to prompt, ask ChatGPT. Always ask ChatGPT if you're not sure. Same with InVideo. It creates really cool little short video clips for your social media and your marketing, or even presentations or sales presentations or anything that you're doing where you think video would be nice.
I've had a little bit of trouble with InVideo. I don't know if I have some good prompts for it. On those shorter videos, giving me the right pictures for what I want to.
Yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect. And then, have you tried out ChatGPT's new feature as well? It's called,
They have a video?
they have Sorrel. Sorrel, yeah, it pulls up right on your menu. They have video and then they have image, a couple different options. Try that.
Yeah.
But there's other tools out there, like Midjourney is a really nice one.
But do they do video though? Midjourney, right?
Midjourney,
They do video?
I think so. Yeah. I believe so. I don't use Midjourney. I just try to keep it super basic because I don't need Midjourney for my business. I really don't need it. But you can even ask ChatGPT, what are some good AI video creation tools? And it will give you a list. Yeah, if you're not happy with InVideo.
I just didn't know if I was doing it wrong with prompts or something. 'Cause
Maybe.
with all of these, there's some kind of prompts that they'll need.
And sometimes it doesn't like text because it's just like it's misspelling and it's all kind of really weird looking. So you can even prompt it and just say no text.
Oh,
And you don't want any text, you just want an image. And then you won't have to deal with that. But if you get an image and you like it and you just want to fix some text, maybe there's a misspelling or it's kind of funky, you can take that, put that into Canva, and then use the magic feature. And then you can edit it. So I do that often, where it's just like, oh, this looks weird, it's not spelled right, or it's just laid out funny. I'll just use the magic feature in Canva. So you
if you
can,
wanted to fix the spelling, could you erase it? Will it allow you to put it back in, or?
well, yeah, it's a grab feature in Canva. It's called grab text. And then it grabs that text, and then you can go in and edit the text. Yeah, that's a pretty good feature. Is anyone using Canva? Probably everyone, right?
I'm so lost on
Oh.
Canva. I don't know where to start. Like,
Oh, okay.
I need like Canvas for Dummies or a chat to tell me how to use Canva.
Try just doing the free version of Canva, and then go into the AI. They have like a little AI bar at the top, and you can just tell it what you're looking for. Start with that. Yeah, start with that. If anyone has webinars and meetings and things like that, there's also meeting note takers, which are really very nice. They record your meetings, and then you can take the transcription and you can ask ChatGPT. You can say, okay, I just had a meeting with a client and I want to highlight the topics that we talked about, and I want to draft an email. And you can literally take your transcription and send out a follow-up email to a client like within 10 minutes after your meeting. They're going to be really wildly impressed. So that's just an idea. There's always like permission settings, so it will show up in your Zoom, but you can also say, do you mind if I record this? Usually people don't mind, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Okay, so this is what I wanted to get to, is something called curated prompting. So remember when I mentioned how a lot of people, the way they're prompting is the same way they're doing a search on Google. Curated prompting is a template structure. So it's a scalable structure so that you can use that same template for different business scenarios. So what you do, and I'm just gonna go right to the next slide. Oh, did you want that? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, let me go back here.
Thank you.
Okay. So I love this because it saves so much time with your prompting. Once you have your curated prompt and you have your variables, what we call variables, set up in the prompt, then all you need to do is copy paste and then plug in your specific scenario. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. And then let me go back. Let me go to. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I have a scenario. This is a case study where a heating and air conditioning company, he has this company, they have 100 field technicians. So they got a lot of people working for this company. And one of the challenges that the business owner sees is that the techs lack knowledge on providing energy saving tips to customers. So they're out in the field and they're not really providing good information. They're not leaving pamphlets behind, and then they're not providing that extra little service that the company really wants their technicians to provide. So the owner says, okay, by them not providing this is causing confusion and it's really jeopardizing our customer retention, okay? And it's also affecting the employee morale because they feel like they don't have the information they need to provide to the clients. So the challenge for the business owner is the business owner wants a 60-minute webinar for the technicians. And the owner wants to train all the technicians on a consistent message, all right? And the owner wants to focus on energy efficient, renewable solutions. This is just a case study to give you an idea of what you can use maybe in your business. And then the owner's also saying, I want a post follow-up campaign. So once we have this webinar, I want to make sure that this stays top of mind, okay? Now, this owner hands it off to their administrative assistant. And the catch is that I'm having this meeting in 20 minutes. What does this assistant do with this, right? So I'm going to show you how, by using curated prompting, you can create this content really fast. So they're wanting a clear call to action, and then of course the webinar follow-up campaign. So here's what I was talking about with curated prompting. The framework. The framework is the purple, see the purple there? Those are what we call the variables in curated prompting, okay? So create a webinar on, and then what are the learning objectives and what are the goals? Which increases brand awareness targeting, who's the customer, I need guidance. See now the assistant or the administrator, they already have this in their prompt vault. They have it in their prompt file. So they have this ready to go. So over time, you can build your own prompt file, an Excel spreadsheet or a Word doc. And now all you need to do is, once you've created your framework, then you simply fill it in with the right variables. Does that all make sense to everyone? Okay, so I guess think about it in your situation with your business. Maybe you have, some staff members that you want to train on something. You want to, present something that's engaging. And remember, you're using your branding that you've already built in your ChatGPT. So your ChatGPT knows who you are, they know your business, and now you're simply going to put in this paragraph right here into your ChatGPT, okay? So I'm going to show you, I'm going to open that up. This is exactly what I just showed you in the purple. So I've got everything filled out, and all I'm going to do now, create a webinar, renewable energy savings tips aiming to achieve cost saving for ABC HVAC customers, etc. So there is the prompt, curated prompt with the filled in variables, okay? Now I'm just gonna push go, and I'm gonna let it run. Easier said than done, right? Where did it go? It might be thinking. Hello. That's weird. It's thinking. I hope it's not the Wi-Fi again. I think it's the Wi-Fi.
And this is inside of your GPT that you created, right?
Might be the Wi-Fi. Oh shoot. Let me try it. Weird. I think it's the Wi-Fi. Okay. Yeah, it's the Wi-Fi that's messing us up here. All right. Okay, we're back. Okay. Okay, I had that all ready to go, darn it all. Let's see here. I've got the document behind. Let me do one thing real quick. Sorry guys. It's Wi-Fi's giving us problems here. Okay. And then I'll put it back here. Okay, and then make sure this works here. Okay, let's hope that works. Okay. Okay, I just put the prompt back in there. Let's see, let's try it this time. Now it's thinking, yeah. Okay, good. It's cooperating. Okay, so here's what it's doing for us. It's creating us the full package for the webinar. And it's broken down into 3 parts. Our webinar content structure for 60-minute webinar, slide deck guidance, Gamma. I instructed we were going to use Gamma. And I want a PDF post-webinar follow-up playbook. So here's what it's giving us. 60 minutes, okay, so it's breaking it down for us, minute by minute breakdown. 5 to 15 minutes, why renewable. So these are the slides that we're going to create for the webinar. It's even giving us slide deck guidance. Slide 1, here's the title, all these things here. And now it's also giving us the PDF post-webinar follow-up. So, I mean, this is really applicable to any situation. It's not just, you know, this emergency meeting on this HVAC company. This can be used for anything, any sales meeting you have, any customer, you know, customer engagement situation. It's just a matter of having your prompt, curated prompt set up in advance. And once you start to build your library, and you build your library over time, because you're not gonna know what prompts you need until you actually have that scenario. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm simply going to, I want to take this information right here, webinar content structure, right? And then I'm going to copy all of this. Let's see how this is gonna look. Okay. Now, it's even giving us some examples of what we could add to it so we get some engagement. Copy, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go into Gamma. And this is a really fun tool. I'm using it right now with my presentation. And it's gamma.app and create new. And so here it's giving us some different options. I simply copied those slide decks and now I just want to paste it. But you have other ways of creating your presentation. But for this presentation, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to paste it right in there. So there's your content right from ChatGPT, right? Now I have the option of presentation, web page, document. We're gonna go ahead and click presentation. Now this is a free tool. You get up to 8 cards for free. And then I think it's only like $20 a month. And now, what were you saying?
What's a card?
Oh, it's like a PowerPoint slide.
Oh.
Only they call them cards.
Oh, card.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the content. Then I'm gonna say, you have different options. Generate from notes or an outline. Turn rough ideas, bullet points, or outlines into beautiful content. So I think I might wanna choose this one. You also have a summary, and then you also have just preserve everything. But I think I wanna go ahead and do that one. They also have a branding feature in here, so you can pick your own branding colors. You can set it up in advance. Okay, it's saying only 2 cards. That's weird. It's not very many. Let's try freeform and see what it does. Okay, so I selected freeform and there's 10. See that at the bottom? 10 cards, but card by card, it only selected 2. That'd be a pretty short presentation. And then here's all of the templates. You can pick out your templates. They have a variety of different templates here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select, whatever it selected for me, just to show you what it does. So now, it's going to create my presentation for me. It's generating, it's pulling all that content in, and now it's creating the presentation for me. And then remember that if you create this under your brand voice in your custom GPT, it's going to pull out all your brand. This is more of a generic. And then it will have your company stats in there. It will have your information, more specific information of your company. But this gives you an idea of how you can easily take a quick prompt from your prompt vault, or you can build out your prompt and then use it for future use, and then put it in your library of prompts that you're saving, and then you can repurpose it. You can repurpose it for whatever scenario you have. And this one is specifically for creating a webinar. Do you like that?
I love it. We also tell our students and faculty, whoever we work with, that they should use AI for creating pitches. Not only for creating pitch decks, but there's also AI tools that can provide feedback to your pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, look at how fast this is. And it's really, looks nice. And you can edit out the photos. You can, if you don't like the fonts, you can edit the fonts. You can change things up. There's a lot of different features in here. Even with the free version, there's a lot you can do with it. Is anyone using Gamma right now? You're using it? I love it.
Yeah, a young lady told me about it, and I thought, this is crazy. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It took like a week for me to do.
think about your community that you're building, you know, you could definitely use presentations, you know,
Yeah.
when you're starting to
Yeah.
promote.
Yeah,
What
on
you're
my
doing.
lives and,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. See, there's a spelling error right there. So I would swap out that picture. Because you cannot edit, like spelling of the images within Gamma. So I would switch that one out, but it's really easy to do that. You just click on it and you can swap it out. It'll give you different ideas how you can swap it out. I just clicked on that, and then it's going to, hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't slow us down here. Here's the image right here. You know, I just want to, maybe I want to change this prompt a little bit, you know, or I could just say enhance the prompt. I could have AI do it for me, and I could have it enhance the prompt for me. Let's see what that looks like. It's going to give some suggestions. That's just an example of how you can swap things out really quickly. You can also add your own images in here from your company. I like that one better. It doesn't have the spelling in it. You can also add your own images in here. You know, there's a number of things you can do right here. All these different features here. Okay, so that is Gamma in a nutshell, and I'll show you what that looks like really quick. I think it turned out pretty nice. And you can also add a script. So if you have a script to accompany each slide, you can add, there's a little note section in the right-hand side. You can just add your notes for each slide, so you kind of have talking points when you're going through your presentation. So that's a real quick example of how you can very easily use AI, ChatGPT, and Gamma. Those are only 2 tools that you need. You don't need a lot of tools to really get started with AI. You really don't. I would say try and use the free tools and experiment with those. You can probably get by with, you know, under $50 a month, $60 a month. Most tools are around $20 or free. And so if you just identify a few different tools and stick with those and kind of learn them, ChatGPT is only $20 a month. Gamma, free version, you can do the paid, $20 a month. So those are some good tools to get started with. Perplexity, free. They have an upgraded version. Start with the free one and do your research with Perplexity. Did you see the research I did on Perplexity?
We weren't here.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
what I used. I don't know much about it.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll show you really quick. Here's the webinar guide. Okay, so what I want to do real quick is the PDF post-webinar. So I still need a follow-up on this one. So it's asking me, do I want a PDF document? So you can either say I want a PDF, or you can also put that into Gamma and make it look a lot prettier. And I did that before. It takes a little bit long for it to process, so I'll just show you what a PDF looks like real quick. And all you do is you click on the link, it downloads it for you, and now you've got a PDF of your follow-up actions for your webinar. But you know, if this employee wants to impress the boss and they want to put it in a Gamma pretty presentation, they can do that, just to show their AI skill sets. So you can take all this code and you can put this right into Gamma. Copy paste. And it translates it for you into Gamma. Or you can just download the PDF right here and see what that looks like. Not very exciting, but it does the job. There's your there's your guide. Follow your guide, you know, measuring success, you know, how do we follow up with our technicians, that kind of thing. So I did go ahead and I did it in a Gamma, and I'll show you what that looked like. It looks so much nicer than the PDF. Yeah, the Wi-Fi here is just really slow today. All right, okay, here's the guide, the playbook, I'm sorry. Here's the playbook. Now this is really, it's quite impressive, you know, in comparison. Look how nice that is. Maybe the whoever created this, they want to hand it off to another employee, and they want to give them a guidebook on how to follow up with it. You know, so here's the playbook follow up. It's super nice looking. It lays everything out. You know, quick engagement surveys, cheat sheets, internal leaderboards. It looks so much better than a PDF. That kind of gives you an idea. So that's that, and then what I'll do is I will kind of wrap things up, and here's my Gamma, and this is where I created my presentation. Right in here, I've got all kinds of different things I've created in here. But we are in this one right here, and with that being said, I just want to express again how strategy first, technology second. Have a strategy in place before you start to really dive into AI. It's really, you know, you're gonna save yourself so much time. And if you're not sure about what your strategy should look like, then use ChatGPT to help you with that. Have it help you with that, you know, because, you know, when you start to just kind of dabble in ChatGPT, and you don't have an end game in mind, you know, you're really going to just be wasting a lot of time. So just have a conversation with ChatGPT, set up your AI, set up your ChatGPT so that it knows you, and there's settings in there in the right-hand column. Should I show you that? Should I show you that? Okay. Right here. Okay, so down here, when you okay, come on. Okay, right here, you see that? Personalization. You want to go into personalization, and you want to set up your ChatGPT so that you're training it. Okay, so give it some custom instructions, you know, depending on what your business is, and you know, and if you're not sure how to fill this out, again, have ChatGPT help you. Have it help you. So this is the whole personalization section. Here's the general section. All those things. So just get that set up, and then once you have it set up, you don't have to worry about doing it again. Because it's all in there, it's all, now you're gonna start to train it. Now you're gonna start to train it, and it's gonna get to know you. And the more you use it, the more it's gonna know you, the more it's gonna be trained, the better output you're gonna get from it, the more you use it, and make sure you've got that set up. And then the memory is right, let me see if that comes up. It's not coming up here. Normally there's a little memory guy. Maybe it comes up here. Let's see, new chat. Okay, you see this little bubble here? This is where you can turn the chat off temporarily. So if you don't want ChatGPT to remember your conversation, you just click on that. Okay, and then there's your black bar. You know the memory's turned on.
Up here at the top, mine doesn't have all that. Are these?
You know, I don't really know why. Does yours have that?
No, that's pretty cool. That's why
Yeah, I don't, you know, it pops up when I first open up my Chat GPT, but when I start to use it, it goes away. Like I'll put in my prompt here and it goes away. So I guess it's just giving me some ideas of how to use Chat GPT. Yeah,
You mean all the.
yeah, all these boxes
I
here.
didn't see that either.
Yeah, it's just giving me ideas of things. I didn't set it up, it just does it. Yeah, but that's the memory. You can turn that off and turn it on. I always have mine on because I want to keep training it. But
See that down at the bottom, it says one-click prompts. I wonder if that's why, because I don't even have that at the bottom.
what's that?
It says web access.
Down here?
Yeah.
You don't have that?
One-click prompts, and it's on. So I wonder if that's why it messed up. But I've never seen that at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably, like they have the settings in here. Let's see here, settings. Let's open that up again. Let's see, general, notifications. Notifications, there's the push notifications, personalization. Occupation, what about you? Memory. You can also go in here and clear out your memory, like if you don't want it to remember some of your past conversations, you can clear out your memory. I think that's in here. Oh, maybe this is it here. Advanced. It looks like it could be under advanced. Yeah. Connectors, you can connect, like your different accounts to it. I don't do that. I'm not comfortable with it having access to my emails and private information, so I don't use any of these connectors. But some people use it and they don't have any problems with it. It can actually even connect to your Google Drive. I'm just not comfortable with that. Schedules, I haven't used this feature. I have not used this feature. Have you used schedules? Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
used
yes,
it.
because now it sends me, it prompts me my schedule for today, and it tells me like
Okay.
where I have gaps and where I can fill in and where appointments can go.
Oh, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, but I have it on, just on one, like you can connect it to one of your Google, like I created a whole nother email. for
Okay.
it, Not mine, if that makes sense. So it
Yeah,
doesn't get into
yeah.
all this stuff.
So with that being said, we're a little over, but I wanted to make sure that everyone knew that I do have an 8-week mastery training coming up, and I'm working on the course right now. I'm almost done with it, and it's going to be 8 weeks of kind of digging into this more, helping you set up your brand voice, helping you properly set up your ChatGPT, and then we're going to go into some more business strategy in the training. We're going to introduce a few tools. I stick with just a few tried and tested tools. I don't go crazy with tools because you don't need a lot, but I do cover social media and some social content in it, so you can start to build on the brand voice. So that could be a good course for you. And I think it's probably gonna be rolling out within the next 30-ish days or something like that. So I'd be more than happy to contact you when it does come out, if you just scan the QR code, and then I can just contact you. And we can even have a discussion, whether it's good for you or not, if it's the right fit for you, because I wanna make sure it's the right fit. And I'm also going to have, it's on demand, because I know everyone's schedules are really busy. So I'm gonna have the on-demand course, and then I'm gonna have a community. So we're gonna have a community where we meet once a week for 8 weeks. And then that way, as you're working through some of these things, if you have questions or you wanna collaborate with other students, we're gonna have Q&A once a week for 8 weeks as well. So it's two things going on. And you can join the course anytime you want. because it's called rotating enrollment. So if I'm already, let's say I'm already started the course and I'm in week 6, you can still join the course anytime you like, because I don't want you to have to wait until the next 8-week, rotation, because AI is just moving so quickly. So you can join it anytime you like. So that's pretty much it. And I just want to thank you so much for coming today. And would love to see you again. And I hope this helped you. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing.
Go.
One more thing. I'm going to be starting a new series next month. It's called Lab to Launch. And it's more like everyone bringing their laptops, and we're going to have like little pilots. Like, let's say you want to know how to set up a custom GPT, or you want to know more about maybe, I don't know. But anyway, it's going to be like 1 hour, and we're going to do it once a month, and it's going to be here. And the first one is October. It'll be on the calendar. So I'm trying something different so that it's more interactive, and people are, they're working on ChatGPT, or maybe it's another AI tool that they want to experiment with. So I'm going to be having that starting next month. We won't be doing these anymore. This was the last one. So I'm going to try that and see how that goes. So would love for you to come. Just check the calendar.
Everybody bring their laptop?
Yeah, bring your laptop. Even if you're not using AI, you can at least be around other people that are
Or
using
iPod,
it, and other people are using it, and you can kind of learn from them and like stand over their shoulder. So would love for you to come to that as well. So I'll have that in October, November, and December. So we've got that on the calendar for the next 3 months. So.
How do I access the calendar?
Sorry?
How do I access the calendar?
Well, it's through the center studios. How did you find out about this? Do you know?
Yes, there was a flyer and I scanned the QR code, but I couldn't find it on the website. Someone upstairs gave me a business card, so I went to the website and I was looking and I couldn't find this session
Okay.
on the website.
I would talk to Lynn and just ask her. I don't remember the name of the
Yeah,
website.
no worries.
Yeah, they have a calendar of everything.
Yeah, that would be great.
Center, and there's so much. You might know.
Did you just email me?
Yeah.
I emailed you back. We post this event and all the other events after